Hello everyone and welcome to our ACW 1020 Accounting in Business presentation. My name is Yen Hong and today my teammates and I are acting as financial consultants for Mr. Farid Rahman. We are here to evaluate the current financial position of Seri Rasa Urban Dining and provide strategic recommendations to secure its future profitability. To begin, let's briefly review the business scenario. Seri Rasa Urban Dining is an upscale food and beverage business located in Kuala Lumpur, established in 2022 by the Rahman family. The restaurant has built a strong reputation over the last 2 years, serving a fusion of local Malaysian and Western dishes to middle and high-income urban customers, including professionals, families, and corporate clients. While Seri Rasa is experiencing stable and growing revenue, management has identified a significant profit squeeze that threatens the company's financial sustainability. The business is currently facing margin cost pressures, which include rising costs for imported and premium local ingredients. Furthermore, the restaurant is dealing with labor shortages that drive up wage costs, alongside increasingly expensive utility and rental bills. Because of these issues, the business has occasionally faced cash shortages that require short-term financing just to meet supplier payments. To address these challenges, our presentation today is divided into three main sections. First, we will analyze Seri Rasa's current financial health by looking at performance, liquidity, and risk factors. Next, my teammates will evaluate the managerial choices and financial trade-offs of two proposed strategies: expanding into online delivery and investing around 400,000 in kitchen automation. Finally, we will deliver our unified recommendation on the best path forward. I will now pass the floor to Liu Xingrui to discuss the financial analysis.
So I will talk about the profitability. Although the company achieved revenue growth, its profitability has weakened significantly. The main reason is that operating costs increased faster than sales growth, which reduced the company profit margins. As a result, the company moved from a profitable position to a loss-making position. This indicates that higher sales alone are not enough to improve performance if costs are not properly controlled. The company should focus on cost management and operational efficiency to restore profitability and ensure long-term sustainability. So moving on to the liquidity, the company's short-term financial position has become weaker. Cash resources have decreased, while liabilities and short-term borrowing have increased. This suggests a growing dependence on external financing and greater pressure on cash flow management. In addition, the current ratio has declined, indicating a reduced ability to meet short-term obligations comfortably. If this trend continues, the company may face challenges in paying suppliers and covering day-to-day operating expense. In conclusion, the company is facing pressure in both profitability and liquidity. While demand and sales remain positive, rising costs and increasing financial obligations are affecting overall performance. Therefore, management should prioritize cost control, improve operational efficiency, and strengthen cash flow management to support sustainable business growth. Thank you.
Now I'll discuss Serirasa's efficiency, focusing on inventory and receivables. Inventory days increased from 50 to 55 days, meaning stock is being held for longer. For an F&B business, this can increase wastage risk because ingredients are perishable. Receivable days also increase from 7 to 12 days, meaning cash collection is slower. Trade receivables doubled from 60,000 RM to 120,000 RM. So more money is stuck in unpaid balances. Overall, Serirasa's efficiency has weakened and receivables are taking longer to turn into cash. This adds pressure to working capital and short-term cash flow. Based on the efficiency issues, Serirasa faces three main financial risks. First is working capital risk. Inventory increased from 220,000 RM to 300,000 RM, and trade receivables doubled from 60,000 RM to 120,000 RM. This means more cash is stuck in stock and unpaid balances. Second is liquidity pressure. Cash dropped from 150,000 RM to 60,000 RM, and the current ratio fell from 1.43 to 1. This shows the business has a weaker cash buffer to pay suppliers, wages, and other short term expenses. The third is financing risk. Short term loans increased from 100,000 RM to 180,000 RM, which shows the business is relying more on borrowing to manage cash shortages. Overall, Serirasa is not only facing a profit problem, it is also facing a a conversion problem, where sales and assets are not turning into cash quickly enough.
Hello everyone, now I will evaluate the first proposed strategy, expanding into online delivery channels. First, let us look at the shift in cost behavior. Currently, a significant portion of Srivasa's cost is compounded of fixed cost. Rent, utilities, staff cost, and other operating expenses are all treated as fixed cost. Only the cost of food and beverage is a variable cost. If strategy one is adopted, new layer of variable cost will be introduced and will affect the operating gain. On one hand, a platform commission of 20 to 30% will be added to every delivery order. On the other hand, additional package and order processing cost will be added. This additional cost will fundamentally alter the cost structure. The provision of variable cost in total cost will increase significantly. Let us look at the number. Based on the internal data, the average selling price per meal is 45 ringgits. The average food and beverage cost is 25 ringgits. The Samia platform commission of 25% and the additional 2 ringgits for package. The variable cost delivery meal raised to approximate 13.825 ringgits. The contribution per unit dropped from 20 ringgits to just 6.75 ringgits. The sharply reduced the weighted average contribution margin rate. Because of fixed cost remain at 1.8 million ringgit, while the per unit contribution declined heavily. The business faced high fixed cost with increasing leasing contribution margin. Even from the most optimistic perspective, assuming a 20% sales increase with purely incremental orders, the online delivery channel would aid only about 108,000 ringgit total contribution. This is not enough to cover the existing needs loss of 118,000 ringgit in 2025. What is real? This strategy will immediately strengthen our working capital. Over the past year, the venture settlement period for accounting receivable have already extended from 7 to 12 days. Delivery platform typically have settlement cycle of 14 to 30 days, which will extend this period further. Considering the cash has already declined sharply from 115,000 ringgit to 16,000 ringgit, we cannot afford this additional liquid pressure. All in all, although online delivery can increase revenue, it failed to eliminate the 118,000 ringgit loss weakens our contribution margin and place further pressure on our cash flow. Therefore, this strategy is not feasible under the current financial structure. Now, I hand over to my colleague Jules, who will evaluate the strategy 2 and present our recommendation.
Strategy 2 focuses on kitchen automation. The case estimates a 400,000 ringgits initial investment with possible staff reduction of 20% to 30%. Since 2025 staff cost is 972,000 ringgits, the gross saving could be around 194,400 ringgits to 291,600 ringgits after annual maintenance and depreciation of 70,000 ringgits to 90,000 ringgits. The net saving may still improve efficiency and reduce fixed cost pressure for Serirasa over the longer term significantly. To conclude, Serirasa is not facing a demand problem because revenue increased by 12.5%. The real issue is that costs, liquidity pressure, and a weak working capital have damaged profitability. Strategy 1 can increase sales, but it gives low contribution and may create further cash flow pressure. Therefore, our final recommendation is to choose Strategy 2, Kitchen Automation. It directly addresses labor cost and efficiency pressure. However, it should be implemented gradually to protect cash flow. Overall, Serirasa should rebuild profitability through better cost control, stronger cash flow management, and more efficient operations.